Hello, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. I am so freaking excited to kick off today's client spotlight series with Miss Jamila, one of my favorite people in the world, y'all. And I just can't wait to introduce her, her magic, her energy, y'all. Y'all will see how much, just how amazing Jamila is. But please, Queen, go ahead, introduce yourself. Let us know all the magic about who you are, what you do, all that good stuff.
Oh, you're so sweet, and I love you, girl. My name is Jamila McMallow. I am a mindset coach for women executives and entrepreneurs. Essentially, what I do is I help powerful women to really heal their childhood trauma in a short amount of time so that they can really create their dream life, hit all their goals and really just have it all, really giving them permission to have it all. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of in a nutshell what I do. But, there's so much in there, right?
Oh my God. And we can get into that too, because I love what you do. I like to say what you do is for the culture, because you really have this skill set, this gift of really hitting home, really addressing the root, the trauma, a lot of the childhood stuff that we carry as a business owner, as a CEO, as a leader. So we'll get into all of that later.
Okay.
My first question to you is, one, how has your journey been? Getting up to this point here today, being this mindset coach, being this CEO, being this leader. How has your journey been?
So, it's been interesting as I've gone on my own, because as you're coaching others, you're, of course, continuing to transform yourself, because that's really how you become more effective at what you do. And what I've really been stepping into is really just more of myself, right? Yeah. More of who I am, and shaking off the conditioning, shedding the layers of, expectations and messaging and all those things because, for example, you think about imposter syndrome. A lot of people feel like, oh, I'm going to be found out, they won't know they'll think I'm not good enough. Well, I call it, my husband is funny. I said, it's reverse imposter syndrome. He said, no, it's still imposter syndrome because it's still not being who you are. I said, it's reverse because I'm actually pretending to be less than I am. Said, no, that's still being an imposter. So I was like, yeah, I guess it's all the same. It's just, one is one way, one is the other way.
Yeah.
So essentially I would say pretty much, not my entire life, but when you get into those middle school years, actually wrote a post about it, but you go through that teasing and that bullying, and it causes you to kind of shrink back and hold back. And I've always been very aware of the bigness of who I am. And I always felt this need to hold it back because of being around folks who don't have that level of confidence in who they are. Yeah. And it's not a sense of like arrogance or conceit. It's just a knowing of who I really am. And it's like, yeah, and y'all don't know, but trying to be like everybody else. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to shine my gifts too brightly because it might make this person feel bad that they don't have that gift. And it's such a twisted way of thinking that we have. And I would say specifically as women, that we're almost conditioned to be nice and all these other things. And yes, we want to be courteous. Yes, we want to be loving and caring and all those wonderful things. But being nice doesn't mean that we have to diminish who we are being, what we're able to do simply for the sake of someone who's not even trying. You know what I'm saying? They don't even... Hello. So
yes, I want to touch on that too, because that is such I feel like we're about to be preaching today. because when you really look at it, I was just having this conversation with my partner, and it's like growing up, we do these things where we don't want to shine our light so brightly that now we're getting all this attention. And of course, those girl, who do you think you are? And oh my gosh, you're doing this. You just do the most. But it's like, what that does is that subconsciously makes you the underdog. So now you do things to not let your light shine so brightly, which is what you've addressed and what you solved so beautifully, so graciously. And this is this is so good already. You're not even getting to the meat of it. But yeah.
And what's funny is it didn't matter, right? You can't really hide who you are. Yeah. Like every job I ever had, I would show up on day one and say, okay, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to whatever I'm going to do. I'm just going to, whatever. And then within maybe the first week, I'm talking, I'm sharing my opinions and thoughts on this. I'm changing that. I'm rewriting this. And that's just what I did. Yeah. I was like a change agent. It's because I had to make it my own, because it had to become bigger than what it was. And so that's everywhere I went, I would just do that.
Yeah.
And of course, my employers were always like, wow, we're getting way more bang for our buck. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know you could do all this. Well, so, you know, and so I couldn't hold back, even though I was trying. But now when you step out into this entrepreneurial space, entrepreneurial, let me get that right. Internet streets, you know, you're faced with all of your stuff.
Yes.
And now, because it ain't you putting a price tag on your worth, you know, somebody telling you you're going to get this every 2 weeks. Now it's about you.
Yes.
What? Your marketing is about you. What? You can't just read my resume and that's not good enough. Like, no, I really need to know who you are before I make a 5-figure investment. Yes. Okay, well, let me see what I can scrape up for you. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm from that era, and I know you are too, because I mean, not in the same time zone because I'm older than you know, but you were still raised with that corporate conditioning that we show up a certain way and leave our personal and private things at home. Yes. And so for me, that's really something that I am allowing myself to now be more open to and exposed to my audience and things like that. Is more of really the whole version of me, because when you're in your own head, you're thinking, well, don't they know this? And it's like, well, how would they?
Yes.
Because you haven't shown it. So anyway.
Yes. The magic of visibility, owning yourself, confidence, knowing who you are, your worth, all of that. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. So before we started working together, Jamila, where would you say you were at in your business?
I was doing Acuity for scheduling. I was using Adobe DocuSign for my contracts. And by the way, I was manually doing the contract, updating it in Word, then uploading it to the e-sign, then sending a manual email to each new client, you know, with certain details in it. So I was doing like 5. So when I onboarded someone, it was like, okay, Square. It was like this checklist of just a stupid amount of things that I had to do. And, you know, and it was kind of like, hey, I see somebody chimed in with a comment. Hey, Gilda. It's like, it was overwhelming. And so I really didn't know. I'm thinking, hey, I'm doing things, you know, these are systems, you know, I got my scheduling and all this. And then you know, you're talking about, oh, I'm a system strategist. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I remember you posted about Dubsado. And I was like, is that some kind of anime dinosaur? What you talking about, Dubsado? I don't know what that is. Because see, I'm not old, but I'm over 40. And when I was in school, we didn't have the internet. Okay, we had computers, but that was like when I was a freshman in college. It's like, oh, email. Okay, let's get into this. Yeah. So yes, we're my generation. Yes, we're into technology and all those things, but some of us are not always like on trying to jump on the board with new technology. I just learned that, man. You're telling me something new. So there's this disconnect for us to where we don't want to do it because it feels hard. It feels like, wow, this is something else I'm going to have to learn. Yeah. This is just something else I'm going to have to figure out. And because we've already figured out, even though it's cumbersome, we've already figured out how to do these 5 or 6 things, because I know how to do that. And I know how to do this. And I know how to do this backdoor strategy to fix it, you know, to get it. So we're doing all this Jimmy rigging and stuff like that. And because we know how to do it, we feel comfortable. But we waste so much time on it. And so what you did very lovingly and patiently, you know, helped me take my hand and crossed over into the Dubsado space. I'm like, okay. Because I don't even remember if we were just talking and you were just explaining to me, oh no, you could do all these things in one. And I'm like, what?
Right.
That's what you do? And you're telling me I can do that? So why am I doing this? So anyway, you helped me to first of all just sign up for the product. Sign up for Dubsado, and I started playing around in there. And then, you know, we had our session where you helped me to get set up in there. What I appreciate is I was able to learn from watching what you were doing, because you also offer an option where you would do it for the person. But I wanted to understand it so that because I like to feel like I don't want to be stranded. Like, what if she's not available and I have a question and I don't, you know, so I wanted to see and know. And you did such a thorough explanation of everything, and you explained it, and you just made it easy. And that's what was like, okay, well, if she's going to help me, I can do anything in systems, you know? So you gave me a mindset shift when it came to systems and strategy. I didn't get the importance of it. I didn't get how it's so much, it's more professional. It's so much more up leveled. You know, it's just better.
Yeah.
And so you helped me with that. And then, like I said, through your training with me when you were setting it up, just helping me to see also how everything worked so I could maintain it on my own and not feel ignorant. Like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me just, but no, you did an excellent job of that. And because you have such a love for it, you didn't get impatient or like, oh, you love it. And so you're just like, I'm happy to teach you. Or I'm happy to do it. And I'm like, okay. And your enthusiasm and happiness is contagious. And so, and we need that because these are not like the fun parts of our business. This is not like the zone, our zone. It's your zone of genius, but it's not like my zone of genius. And so when you take something that can feel very boring or cumbersome or like, and turn it into something like, yay, that's a big deal. Like, Alante, y'all, this ain't just like she's going to set you up with your systems and give you some boring orientation or whatever. No, this girl loves what she does and she makes you excited about it. And you're like, since when did I care about this stuff? So it's like, now all of a sudden I do. So anyway,
Jamila, what I love about you, Queen, is one, like before we started working together, you already had like your process laid out. I remember asking you like, what is your onboarding? What does this look like? You like, girl, I do this. I have a checklist. I do this. I do that. I'm like, that's great. Because not everyone has a process. Some people are going from sticky notes in their head, just kind of going off of memory. But you're like, I already have what I do. I have a checklist, right? And so it's more so I love that you were open-minded about being able to learn the different technology and systems out there and how, yes, I love that we made it fun. It was so much fun on that session. On that so much fun. Because like even seeing your face light up, you're like, oh, I could do this. I could do this. I don't need this. I could do this. Oh, I'm like, this is what I live for, being able to help you enjoy the fruits of your labor, because it's one thing is to get the client closed, but then have all of these different things you have to do, checklist by checklist, and onboard them. And it takes so long, right? You can just use Dubsado, make that, automate that, and then spend your time having more conversations, showing up, letting your light shine in this online world. And I'm just, the work we did. Oh my God.
And then I'll tell you this, when I enrolled my first client, they went through my little, funnel, because I have not just, I have not just used it to onboard clients. I have used it as a sales magnet, create lead pages for master classes that I've done. And I didn't tell you this. See, this is the other thing about y'all. It ain't just Dubsado. She does everything. You mentioned Zapier, whatever. You can correct me. Girl, I made a Zap.
Did you?
I made a free Zap. I connected my Acuity to my Dubsado. So now when a person books an appointment, it creates a project.
Oh.
And then, then there's a workflow that sends out a special email with instructions for our call. I was like, I'm doing this. Yes. So it's so much to it, and it's not complicated.
Yeah.
But you just don't understand how just automating these processes, it makes life so much simpler. And it just, I don't know, it's very empowering. It gives people the impression, which is true, that you're a professional, because they're not dealing with folks that have their stuff together, but you want to charge these prices, but your business looks like it's, being held together by duct tape and Post-it notes. So it's also how it makes you look to your potential clients. What is their process in working with you? What is their process when they book a call? All of that. So you really helped me to streamline it so it's not so manual.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see there's a comment from Gilda. Yes, absolutely, Gilda. Exactly. And it is a mindset shift. And it's all just based in fear, because we think, I'm going to have to learn this and I'm going to waste time or whatever. But really, you're wasting time not doing this because of you doing the 5 different steps on 5 different platforms, folks falling through cracks, you at the grocery store, and oh no, I've got to go back and manually. What are you talking about? Come on, get it together. So it's everything. So yeah.
And I like that too, because the way that I like to approach it is I don't like just setting up systems or doing it for you or showing you how it's done and you don't retain the knowledge. My whole thing is I want to educate you on the process first so we understand what's happening, why is it necessary, and then you know how to maintain it later. So what were kind of some of the things that helped you to, number one, just open your mind, be able to receive that support? And then like right now, girl, I would say you a Dubsado master. You're like every week
I'm just copying your workflows and making little changes. Like, oh, good, this is an excellent feature. Copy. She set that up. Let me just modify it. Change a little email. One of the things that really impressed me when we first got on our call, and it's just so you, is you open up whatever, and I'm sure you have a name for the program you pulled up, but she starts working out the flow of the process, the first process we set up, which is just like onboarding a new client. And she's got like the little boxes and the arrows, and it's a visual. And so it just instantly helped me to see, because this is how I'm assuming you're thinking. And so you understand how to set it up. But it was like, I was able to see it. And then it just instantly made so much sense and it clicked. And I'm like, oh, I get it. And then, okay. And then you're asking the questions and I'm like, I get it now. And so when you did that for me, allowed me to see visually what is the process or what is the flow of just this one thing, like onboarding a new client. There's so many others, right? When when they're offboarding a new client, or when they, whatever, because Dubsado can do so many things. But that was one of the biggest things that helped me, is you took it and made it visual. So then I could really just see. And then because then it opens up this realm of possibility. Because then you're asking questions about things that I hadn't thought about. Well, what about this? What about like all those emails that, like I set up, like even the welcome email, all those things, I was doing that manually, but sometimes when you're still kind of trying to shift, you're like, well, I could probably still, and you're like, so we can do this, and how you can insert, the different special fields, puts the name in, all of those things. And my contracts, the proposal, that whole thing, like, come on. Yes. Like, so all I can say, folks, if you're watching this live, if you're watching the replay, I know Alante loves to say #replay. Just stop it. Okay. Just hire her, schedule a call, because this girl will change your life, your business life, and elevate you. Stop doing all these things on 10 different platforms, and just because it's working for you, thinking it's okay. You could probably shave off a couple of hours a week, or so much less time when you're onboarding a new client. If you understand, because I know people, Alante, I'm gonna tell you this. I know some women who I've worked with that are using Dubsado, and when I see how they're using it, I'm like, you're not maximizing your Dubsado. I'm like, I might have to just let you know about Alante. I'm like, Alante set me up right, so I know what I'm doing. But you,
let them know.
You just doing just one contract. Come on, do you not know? They don't understand how this could really flow. Yeah, but that's the beauty of what you do. And I would say my demographic, we are your clients, because we need you. We need you to help us get it together and to reassure us that it's okay, that it's not scary, it's not overwhelming. We're not, because a lot of us say to ourselves, I don't know, maybe this is a woman thing, because I've been guilty of it too. Like if something breaks on my computer, my husband's like, that IT whiz, whatever. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm just telling him. I'm not gonna try to figure this out. There's something wrong with my computer. And so I think a lot of us sometimes just kind of count ourselves out from the start, like, oh, it's going to be too complicated, or oh, it's going to be too this, or oh, she's younger, so she gets it, but I can't. No. Yes, you can. And it's not hard. That's the mindset shift. When you decide that automating your business and systems is easy.
Yes, it becomes easy.
Yes.
Mindset shift. Yes. So what has the last 6 months been like for you and your business since we've worked together? And you've had this Dubsado integration now, and now you've always had this expert positioning. Your positioning is phenomenal. But now that you're able to really upgrade and give them that royal client experience, what has the last 6 months in your business been like for you?
Well, like I shared with you, I added that new little step in there with how I am having, when my clients schedule an appointment, my business mentor helped me to implement another step in that process. And so I just put it into my Dubsado flow process. So it's just elevated my business, Alante. It's elevated the way that I am able to show up in the marketplace on the back end. I don't have any issues around when I do a master class, how to set that up, you know, how to embed things into, I embedded forms into my website from Dubsado. I mean, just Alante, you'd be so proud. You know, all of these things.
I'm so proud. I'm geeking out. Like, show me, send the link. I want to see.
I know you do have to see it. But this is, so that's what you have. That's what my business has done. Is I feel this sense of ease and excitement. Yes, I want to onboard new clients, of course, to work together, but I'm also excited too to have them go through the, you know, the process, like, ooh, you know, like they get that. And now, with, like we talked about, so I'll just, for those of you who don't know, Dubsado added a new form builder, and she and I were talking about it earlier, and that it's just allows you to do things even more elevated. And so it's going to change the way that I even do that welcome email, because they gave a sample of that. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They gave a sample of a welcome page. I said, wait a minute, I ain't got to be sending no email. I could just have them go boom with graphics and all. Stop.
This is what it's about.
So you made back end fun. Like literally, I'm like, oh, when am I going to make the time to design this new form? And on the flip side, that's not the best use of my time, right? But she's made it enjoyable. Yeah. Like, I'm a one-woman show. You know, I don't have a VA. I don't have a team. And you might be in that place in your business. And that's the power of what Alante does, is she helps you be a one-woman show successfully. Your back end being together. And it just, you know, and it talks to it just everything in one place. And yes, there are a few things like, you know, the Zap and the Acuity, but that I was even able to do it. She didn't teach me how to do that part, but just what she taught me was enough that I was able to make that connection and do that on my own, and was like, you know, and so I feel so excited and empowered about this part of my business. I'm not piecemealing it. I'm not post-it noting it. I'm not manually doing it. I am. And when I do have a team, right? When I do get that VA, because I've got my systems in place, and because I know you all about them SOPs, the stuff is in place. So then things, because my background is in HR management, so please, that's why I had all those checklists and stuff. And I was like, I was processing benefits when they were all paper and we were mailing in forms. My goodness, I could tell you stories. But my point is that, you know, it just allows you to be that one woman show, have a back end that flows well and makes it easier for you. So you don't feel like you're running around with like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to figure out this and that, and remember what client is in the process. It allows you to follow up with people all in one place. And that's just one system, because Alante is the master queen. So I know she's got other stuff that she streamlines and all this stuff. I mean, she's a system guru. This is her thing. This is her jam. So that's why anytime I see, I'm like, Alante, what is this?
And chances are I got a system for that too. I love this too, because you emphasize how important operations are. Like, we always hear about you're from HR. You know how much operation is critical for corporate management, but for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, us, online businesses, there's not a lot of education around operations. What are back-end systems? What does that even look like for people like us? And so I love that you're able to, like, your eyes are so open to it. Now you're like, okay, my client management system is good. Now let me focus on project management, team management, all those different things when you're ready to. And this is so beautiful, because all I want to do is just plant seeds, open your eyes to what the possibility of being your version, a time-rich version, your version of a time-rich CEO, what that looks like, and how you can replicate that in your life, your business. And you do that phenomenally so well, Jamila. So well. So, like, I'm just so proud.
Thank you. Well, I had an excellent teacher. I'm telling you, don't be sitting on the fence. Just hire the girl. My goodness. You're wasting time right now not hiring her.
Oh my God. I have two more questions, and then I'll let you go. So there's so many different other operations experts, systems strategists, systems experts out there. Why did you choose me to partner with? And why did you trust me and my team to work with you?
That's a good question. So first of all, we met in a coaching program. We were both in there together. So we already had a knowing of each other. And then, we were all doing calls and getting to know each other. So I got to know you. But you said a very powerful word, and that is trust. So that's the biggest barrier to people, women like me. Yeah. Can we trust you?
Yeah.
With our private information? Can we trust you with our business? Because our business is our baby.
Yes.
And as peace is put together as it is, it's still ours. Yeah. And so it's like, and so I trusted you. And I don't know, I can't really say specifically why, but I think it's because you have just this natural, genuine and sincere love for what you do. It is so much bigger than like, well, I'm just gonna, it's not a technical transaction. It's not just some functionality. You really, we're women. Yeah. You allow the emotion and bring the emotion into the technology. That's what you do. You bring the emotion into the technology. And as women, that's what we need. We need to be laughing. We need to feel comfortable. We need to feel like we're not being judged. We need to feel like you're being patient. And we need to feel like you get how important our baby is and that you're going to love it as much as we do. And you do, because you're like, I'm just going to help your baby. Walk, it's going to talk, it's going to run. Just wait and see. Look at all these other little babies that have been in my. So that's why I trusted you, because you put me at ease right from the get-go. Your zeal, your enthusiasm, your love for what you do, even though at first I didn't understand it, what you were doing. But eventually I was like, okay. And then when you really broke it down, I was like, oh, okay. And when I was ready, then I reached out, and then it was just boom, like that. So that's what I would say is it's your love for what you do that creates a trust that that you can't fake that.
Yes. I thank you for that, because you are the epitome of what a dream client is for me to work with, to partner with. And so I know this is just the beginning. So I'm just excited for what this next. That's a good question. What does your next season look like for you, Jamila? Now that you are like this subsidal queen now, get your systems together. Like, what does your next season look like for you?
Well, in Dipsado, it's going to be nailing down that welcome page. I'm excited about that. But as far as my business goes, per usual, always, or not always, because once my calendar is full, that's it. Yeah. But working with women one-on-one to help them really to completely transform their lives. And then eventually I'm going to be incorporating events, doing live events, and whatever that looks like, whether it's, renting an Airbnb and doing something very small and intimate, whether it's doing a conference style event in a hotel, whatever. Yes. That's going to be the next chapter, in addition, to what I'm doing now. But I want to really create experiences for women in person, live. Do you know what I'm saying? And so having this back end in place, being able to track people and get them into my system, get them into my flow. That's what you've given me, the foundation. I can scale. Yeah. I can build whatever I want. And it's not even just that, I have this system that does this, but I don't know how to use it. I know how to use it. And if I have a question, or if I need you to build something out for me, you're just a DM away.
Yes.
So it's the foundation has been laid. And so what I'm building is my empire.
Right.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can see you, because you do such a phenomenal job already online creating experiences. So I can imagine the in-person energy, I could just see it. Oh my God. I'm excited for you. I'm just like, can we pass around years of time?
Yes.
For you. So last question, and then we can end this. What would you say to someone who was in your position 6 months ago, and they're currently in the process of they're a master of their craft, already put in their 10,000 hours. They're just a solopreneur trying to figure out how to get their time back. What would be one piece of advice or one gem you would give them?
Stop being cheap. And, you encourage your clients all the time to quit all the DIY nonsense. That's why they hired you. So stop being cheap. and you stop being DIY on the back end of your business and hire an expert. And that does not mean simply a VA, because there are all different kinds of VAs. But Alante's specialty is your back end, your operations, the foundation upon which your VAs, your team members, your events, your experiences, your one-on-one clients, your whole business is built on this foundation. Your talents and gifts, yes, are needed, but you got to pay your bills at the end of the month. You got to keep track of your clients. Period. That you're running a business, and you'd be hard pressed to find any corporation on any brick and mortar that's running their business on Post-it notes and in their head. So book a call with her, even if you go with her lowest package, whatever. Get the education, learn, get it all streamlined, and up level your game, because you're already doing the thing. You're already out there, powerful, magnificent. Let your back end match your front end. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't lift up the curtain and like, what's going on back there? No. Let it look as good back there as it does up front in what you're presenting to the public. That's what Alante.
That's a mic drop. I have nothing else needs to be said. While she's, oh my God. And you poured it to me. I didn't even expect this. Like,
hey, don't ask me a question. I'm going to tell you the answer.
Bless it, y'all. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Jamila, for your time, for talking about your journey, your experiences, giving these gems, y'all. Listen, y'all, if right now you know that you're in this place in your career where you currently have this imposter syndrome, or you know your mindset isn't currently where it needs to be, Jamila is your go-to, okay? She is that person who's going to, help you to face that trauma that you swept underneath that rug, so you can finally get over it and really step into your highest potential. Jamila is that person, and I will always advocate for her. Again, Jamila, thank you so much for your time today, y'all. And see y'all on the next client spotlight, y'all. We are closing it on out. Bye, everyone.